Hey everyone, look at this. I'm working on the 53. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about this paint. I know it's kind of the most distinctive thing. Everybody that would drive by when this was sitting outside, they'd all notice, oh, that green paint, that green paint. What's the story with the green paint? Well, originally this car was regatta blue, which is like a dark navy blue. At some point it had been repainted light blue, and they did a pretty good job. I mean, it was on the firewall and everything. And then when I got it, it was different colors, painted, primed, bondoed, whatever. I really liked the car from the It Was a Good Day video by Ice Cube. He's driving that green 64 Impala. And I always loved that. And I kind of wanted to recreate that, but knowing that was, candy and all this stuff that was not really available to me at the time. I worked at Napa, and we had a paint shop where we could mix colors. So I kind of did the closest approximation, and I did the brightest lime green I could find. And then on top of it is House of Color. At the time, it was the big metal flake. I don't know if it still is, or even if House of Color still sells flake. It's been a long time since I bought it. But that's what it was. And it was before I knew how to spray flake, so I just mixed it into the clear coat, so it's kind of three-dimensional. So that's how it got here. And it is not going to be green when I restore it. It's going to be a more traditional color, like I believe at this point anyway, a pale yellow with a dark green roof. I always loved that color combination. Well, always, after I outgrew stuff like this. I'm gonna try to find a light just to show you kind of like what this flake looks like. I'll be right back. Okay, so this flake really shines in sunlight and incandescent light, but under fluorescent lights, like in here, it just doesn't really do it justice. So I found a halogen light that actually isn't burned out. I'm gonna move you around here. Here we go, I turned off the fluorescence and just have the halogen on. Here is Mark in the late 90s in a nutshell. Okay, so the burning question is, how hard is this going to be to come off? Because there is a lot of layers of clear coat I put on here to try to bury all the flakes that were sticking straight up and leading to the sandpaper effect. Now, when I primed this, I didn't know what primer was for. I did the body work just as you should. I did the primer, and it was a good epoxy primer with kind of a high build. The idea being, well, then you would block sand it, and you'd get an ultra smooth finish and see if any other surprises pop up. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that, so I sprayed the primer coat, and I let it just sit and dry for a few days or whatever, and then I came back and painted it green. So I bet this green is not stuck down very well. This is gonna kind of hurt, but it had to happen eventually. It's actually coming off. I can see all the layers. I'm going to zoom you in. That putty knife wasn't even sharp. It was a totally blunt end, so I got one that's a little sharper. Yep, that's about what I expected. Well, when I do finally do this to the whole car, I think actually a nice sharp putty knife might be a pretty good tool for that. And then we're just down to the last bit that can be sanded easily enough. I just didn't want to sand through all this thick paint. But now I know whatever day I decide to do this, I'll be going home all glittery and shiny. Maybe I'll see how much of this I can catch and I can keep it around as confetti. All right, well that was it. Just a little quickie one. It's hot. I'm going home. Thanks for watching.